to tweet out or like retweet, I think it was my last tweet, is I put the link out for it. All right. In fact, we can do that. We don't officially go until I say John edit here. So if you want to retweet the link from my last one, I will do that as well, real quick on the other account. Okay. All right. I retweeted that one. Okay. I should get my stand. I should Periscope while we do this here. Okay.
That's too much.
That is too. We did that the other day though. It was kind of fun. Okay.
You can Periscope and I'll Meerkat.
Yeah, we'll have a dueling live stream.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. John, edit here. Hello and welcome to Techlandia. How are you doing today? I'm fine. Thanks for asking. I'm John Samuelson. I'm in Portland, Oregon. Thus, my Oregon sweatshirt and my Cubs hat, being very confused. With us tonight, we have a great show, because this is one we've actually been looking forward to. Right, my good friend in the South Bay, Carl Lindgren Stryker, world history teacher, 9th and 10th grade.
John. Yes, I'm all of those things, except for the South Bay, but that continues to be funny to you, so I'll continue to say yes. I'm glad you think I'm in the South Bay.
I love the South Bay joke. That one never gets old.
John, the irony is we do have somebody who lives in the South Bay here tonight, I think.
Oh, we do. Yeah, you know what? So let's go ahead and introduce our guest. Now, our first guest we will introduce is Travis Phelps. And Travis, I have an interesting question for you, because I love the Coreys, Corey Feldman and Corey Haim. So you're from Santa
Clara?
So isn't that where the Lost Boys were from? So do you have vampires down there, or was that Santa Carla and it was like a little play on words that I didn't understand when I was 15 years old?
I need to do some Googling right now. I need to do some research. I don't think I come from your same generation. So
oh, no, nobody comes from my generation. I'm really old.
Okay, yes, I have to do some quick research. On the spot, I'm getting thrilled already.
Have you ever seen the movie The Lost Boys, Travis? No? Okay, Travis, I'm going to put this right now. Number one, I'm putting this on right now. Number one thing, next time we meet up at a conference, we will watch. I'm going to download The Lost Boys, and we're going to watch it, okay? Even on it'll be good on my iPhone 6 Plus. You know what I'm saying? Those things are, you can see it. All right? So we have Travis. Travis, tell us what your job is in Santa Clara.
I am 8th grade teacher / assistant principal at St. Justin's School right here.
That's nice. That's nice. That admin paycheck can be nice sometimes, I've heard. I don't know.
No, but I'm not as insanely destitute as I have been at times in my life, but certainly not rolling in the dough. But I'm loving it.
Thank you, Carl. I was just going. That's good. Oh, we got the echo back, Travis.
Uh-oh. What should I
I don't know what you did differently.
Just mute it when you're not talking.
Okay.
There we go. See, Carl, the ever. Okay, got it? No? Not yet?
I'm muted?
No?
Okay. Sorry.
Oh, gosh. See, Travis, now you made me have to edit stuff. Oh, no, this is going to be terrible.
I know. I'm causing troubles here.
So the mute button's at the top, right there. Okay, Carl got it for me. Gosh, Carl, you are so on it. You know what I'm saying? You are like a Google master. Okay. Hey, Travis. I'm telling you, Carl's coming in with the sound effects. Carl, you are my favorite person right now. All right, and not to be Hadley, I'm so sorry it took so long to get to introduce you. And now, the person that has stayed up so late to talk to us, we're going to introduce Hadley Ferguson, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her job, which is she is the important person out of all the four of us. I think we can agree with that. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know about that, but thanks for having me. I am I guess I'm now almost 5 months in as the first executive director of the EdCamp Foundation. And
yay, EdCamps.
Thanks, Carl.
No, I'm done.
And so I'm working on developing ways to just support organizers and build the participant community.
Okay, that's good. Now, I have to say, Hadley, I was totally heartbroken the other day as I tweeted, and I was sitting there tweeting, were you on a show with my friend Jeff Bradbury from TeacherCast?
I was.
Okay, so then and how long ago was that?
Maybe 10 days or 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh, we've had this one set up. He totally came in and stole my idea. That Jeff Bradbury
He did.
always does that to me.
Oh, yeah, no, you were in touch long before he was, but
Okay.
then just snuck in.
Okay, you know what? Thank you. That's all I wanted to say. I wanted you on record as saying that. So that's good. So you know what? I was almost going to watch. I tweeted out, of course, I tweeted out the link then to the show. And I love Jeff Bradbury and Teacher Cast. And I used to be on that podcast as well. But I thought I was going to see how he asked the questions. And I thought, you know what? Not going to do it. I'm just going to do our show, and then
Right.
I'll compare and contrast afterwards. So anyway, that's good. So we really wanted to talk about, Carl, what was our idea when we first originally got the idea to do this show with these two fine people?
So I think well, I mean, you and I both love EdCamp and spend a portion of our time going to them. But I think the goal for us today was to try to talk to Travis, who is organizing his first EdCamp, which I think is in like 12 days or something like that, and hear a little bit from him about what went well, what didn't go well, and then Hadley is kind of the face of the franchise, and I know that she's incredibly humble and will say that there are a lot of people that do good work, which is true, but I mean, it's her full-time job to do EdCamp, so I thought it would be interesting to have both of them here to get kind of the veteran, I helped found this movement perspective from Hadley, and then Travis, who loves EdCamp but is organizing his first one, to kind of cross those streams and see what happened.
Yeah, awesome.
That's what we want to do. So we really wanted to encourage people. Travis.
Uh-oh.
I don't know, Travis, how we're going to do this. Travis, you know what I would suggest real quick? I can edit this again. Travis, just pop out and pop back in again. See if that works, okay? It worked for 5 minutes before. So and then we can talk. Really, let's get rid of Travis. We don't even need him anyway. No. So what we really wanted to do was we wanted to encourage people that maybe we're thinking about organizing an EdCamp, or thinking, oh, this is really, really difficult, or, oh, there's going to be so much stuff that we have to do. And it's been interesting because Carl added me to the EdCamp Voxer, where there's probably about 40 or 45 EdCamp organizers on that, do you think?
Mm.
And I think that some of the things that people think is it's really too hard, and I think what we kind of wanted to do was dispel the rumor that it's really, really difficult and you have to line up all these sponsors and blah, 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 blah. I think that we could really boil it down, and we'll hopefully talk to Travis in a sec. Travis, we better talk to you while you're not echoing right now. But Travis, what were the first steps you took when you said, okay, here we go, I want to do EdCamp San Jose. So what was the first thing that you did? What were your first steps?
Well, the first, it's a weird long story. The real beginning was I was talking to Samantha Bates in Tennessee about a year ago, and she had been organizing some, and I remember, and I was curious about it, and I said, like, what does it take to plan an EdCamp? And she said, oh, you're going to start one. If you're going to start one, talk to Carl Lindgren Stryker. And
very wise advice right there.
Exactly.
And actually, but at that point I said, no, I'm not going to start an EdCamp. I'm not organizing one. I'm just curious. I'm not actually organizing one, just wondering. So, of course, here I am now organizing an EdCamp. And I then just kind of figured, we have all these other EdCamps, around the country, around the world, but we don't have one here in San Jose. And really I think the biggest thing, and I was so incredibly lucky, so grateful for this, was, and I don't even know how this came out in Twitter, I was interacting with Todd Feinberg, and he said, hey, just use Union Middle School. We have this right here, go ahead and use it. And so that was really the big thing to get the building. I'm very grateful about that. Then a couple months later, I had a hangout with yours truly, Carl Lindgren Stryker.
Oh. Those are so much fun, aren't they? When you have a hangout with Carl Lindgren Stryker.
They are, yes.
I wasn't done with the sound effects.
And so once that came about, then the big thing is Andrew Schwab said he was willing to help out with the tech piece. I was able to get Diane Wharton on board. And the big thing from my experience is I was worried because I had a few people but a small team, and I thought, oh my gosh, all the work that's going to be involved, how is this all going to work out? And it was a weird thing. It was sort of, you were talking about movies. It was sort of, if you build it, they will come.
Mm-hmm.
I set up, the registration on Eventbrite. I got the website up. I did Google Sites because that way all the documents could, integrate easily. And all of a sudden then, someone from my district, Matt Cordes, said he'd be willing to help out. Then Mary Fran Lynch down in San Jose, she said she was willing to help out. And then Liz Davis, who has experience with over in EdCamp Boston, she said she was willing to help out. So it was a wonderful thing to see everything just fall into place once the first steps were taken. And so I guess that would be my advice to anyone thinking about this, is that if you're worried about this piece not coming through or that piece not coming through, sometimes I think if you get the momentum going, suddenly everybody wants to help out. And so that was really neat, seeing all those pieces fall into place.
That's a good lead-in right there. Travis, it's like you were just setting us up to mow it down. So then we switch it all the way across country to Hadley. Hadley, what do people like Travis do, and how can you help them build the momentum is probably my first question then.
Well, I think Travis's experience is pretty much what's been happening around the country, because so many people have, in the sort of digital connected space, have heard about EdCamp, that you have someone in a position like Travis tweeting out that he wants to do an EdCamp in San Jose, and all of a sudden you've got other people who might have been thinking about it but have on the fence, and as long as, as soon as one person says it and you're not out there by yourself, then people gravitate to it. And I think that the teachers who are connected with EdCamp really love to collaborate. They love to be working with other people. And so once they get connected in a small team of 2 or 3 people or a larger team of 10 or 12 people, that's where the energy starts. And so you begin to build the organizer community, which then just empowers the EdCamp itself.
I think that's really true, because I always thought that the hardest thing to do was get the venue. Once you can get the venue with semi-unblocked Wi-Fi is the other part of it. I think where we've been in some places before where Twitter's been blocked, and then that kind of will frustrate you, because I've been to a few ed camps that but for us personally, for EdCamp Austin, which I helped Stephanie Serta and Adam Holman, it was just the 3 of us. And we really didn't want too many more. I think we probably could have had more people, but I don't think we really wanted too many more people. I think we thought that between the 3 of us, that was enough and we could take care of it. And, yeah, I mean, once you have the venue, pretty much everything else kind of falls into place, and you kind of play on people's strengths a little bit. And I found that to be the case. Carl, tell us about your EdCamp experience, because that's where I met Carl, was EdCamp Online. But tell us about your other real physical EdCamp experiences, Carl.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the piece of the community that's so cool to me, is that, I mean, there are these group of teachers online who want to share and want to give, and then you've got like the EdCamp organizers who want to share and want to give, and then want to put in their time to create events. And I think it's, I mean, if you're gonna ask me who I want to get stuck in an airport with, and I know what happens on Voxer stays on Voxer, but in one of the Voxer groups I was on today, Bill Selleck was talking about his LAX test, where if you got stuck in the LA airport for 6 hours with this person, would you want to hire them as a way to figure out who to hire? But I think for me, if I was going to get stuck somewhere with a group of people, I'd want to get stuck somewhere with EdCamp organizers, because I think they're among the most giving and most sharing people in a community that really gives and really shares. So, yeah, I mean, that was kind of my experience. Was I went to EdCamp SFA because Diane May told me to, and then after EdCamp SFA, I filled out the form and checked the box that said I'd be interested in helping, and the next year EdCamp was at my school. And so that was kind of the ton from Vicki Sedgwick and from Bill Selleck about how to run a successful EdCamp, and it just kind of snowballed from there. You've got people who know how to do it and are just they want to make it happen, and they're willing to share the tricks. And so I think that bar is really low. I think people think it's more work than it necessarily has to be. And I think one of the things that the EdCamp Foundation, if we can transition back to Hadley for a second, is doing, that EdCamp in a box, I think, lowers the bar even more for the amount of work the EdCamp organizers have to do. So I don't know, Hadley, if you want to talk a little bit about that, because I think that's a really exciting program.
I'm really, really excited about it. We've got 3 sponsors who have come forward with, they donate $250 a box, and then I turn around and send out to EdCamps a literal box that has a gift card for $200 to pay for breakfast. It has markers and Post-its and EdCamp stickers, and then if the sponsor wants to send some swag along, then I package that up as well. But basically the main goal is to really highlight the fact that you need coffee. But besides coffee, you don't need a whole lot. That it really is about the conversation. And I think that one of the things, because EdCamp organizers are so passionate, I think that they have escalated the, oh, I want to have a Chromebook to give away, and I want to have lots of swag. And, you know, if you end up with that, there's nothing wrong with it. But I think that if you feel the pressure to have that, it makes it that much harder to organize it, when really you need your venue, you need your coffee, and then you just need conversation. You just need teachers getting together and talking to each other. And so my goal with this program is to have organizers get in touch with me and let me know when their event is. And then, last Wednesday I went out and mailed out 7 boxes, and this week I'll mail out another 9. And
nice.
So I'm sort of slowly want to get the word out to ed tech people. If they're interested, they can do a one-stop shop. There are a lot of ed tech companies that are multiple times in the year responding to EdCamp because they really support us. But this way they could send a single check to me, and then I can do the pushing it out. But I also I'm not going out and searching for those. It's more if the people come to me, because I don't want to be taking sponsors away from EdCamps, but if a sponsor is looking for a single way to do it. But the main goal here is just to support the organizers, because I think organizers are awesome, and if I can make their job a little bit easier, then I'm doing a good job.
That's really cool. Now,
yeah, and I
tell us.
Oh, I'm sorry. I would echo what I think Travis had.
All right, hold on, Carl. I think that's why I jumped on you. I think over the top of you. I think you faded out there. You want to repeat it one more time for us?
Oh, hello?
Oh, yeah, you can hear Carl. Drop out and drop back in. Holy cow, we're having Google Hangout problems.
All right.
No, we can't hear you.
Jerk. Yeah, sorry about that.
That's okay.
No, what I was going to say was I think that Hadley and Travis hit on the 2 most important things you need.
Uh-oh. Carl, we can't hear you. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Boy, holy cow, Travis! I didn't know that this is like, Hadley. When I usually do a Techlandia, that's all we do. All we want to do is start the Hangout, and then I want it to be as little editing as possible. This one, I'm never going to put this one up because I'm going to be like, gosh darn it, I've got to edit. Jeff Bradbury has like a master, like their studio. I'm in my kid's playroom, for crying out loud. So anyway, that's okay. So I think
I'll bring the curses. The Wi-Fi gods have cursed me. Wherever I go, the Hangout will not work.
You know what, Travis? As long as it's not echoing, I think we're fine. I think we're fine
That's
with
right.
it. So, okay. So now I was going to say to you, Hadley, I was wondering. I was like, gosh, I thought Carl and I were getting our timing pretty decent there, and then I'm like, wait, I'm jumping on top of him, and because he can hear me. I think that when you talk about EdCamps and we talk, what are the sponsors that are helping you with the EdCamp in the Box? Because I think on this show we'd at least like to give them a shout out then, so people can know who are the people that are really supporting the EdCamps financially and not really trying to make a quick dollar selling their products or whatever.
No, we actually PictoChart sponsored 50 boxes. And,
oh wow!
Yeah, exactly. Let me tell you, they get huge kudos as far as I'm concerned. And then Zeal also sponsored boxes, as well as Seesaw.
Okay. Oh my gosh! You know how much I love the Seesaw apps.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love them. What's the
It's
other one? I've never even heard of the other one. What is it called? Zeal?
Zeal. Yeah, it's John Danner, and it's a new startup, so it's not out in the space too much.
Okay.
But if you look up zeal.com, you can. A,
Zeale?
no, just Zeal.
Zeal. Okay. Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I was trying to make it something it wasn't. Okay. Should
Right.
we test? Should we test? Okay. I'm already gonna have to mess up this episode anyway. Carl, are you there, sir? Are you there? Carl Lindgren Stryker, can you hear us? I see his photo's gone and he's muted. Maybe he's going to get a snack or something like that. He always snacks in the middle of the show. So anyway. All right, Travis, let's get back to you then, okay? Travis, so you got your venue. So now let's go a little bit deeper with this because I think it's the important part. Okay, so you had someone say, "Hey, Travis, I think you should get this venue." How do you go about approaching the person or the administrator so that you can get the venue? What did you do?
I think I must have been the California Ed Chat, and I think I just tweeted out, I'd like to do an Ed camp in San Jose, and then Todd Feinberg just replied and said, let's do it right here at Union Middle School. So I think, what I would do is I can't do it really in my school because I work in a small, teeny tiny Catholic school.
Mm-hmm.
And if we had, over 50 people, it would just be bursting at the seams. But I think if someone doesn't get as insanely lucky as I got, I would just, talk to anyone who's in a big school, somebody who has the facilities to handle. And I think most schools are big enough for an ed camp. It's just that I happen to work in this, insanely small school. So I think that's what I would do. I mean, really, if I'm just trying to think, if you had 150 people and if you had 15 rooms, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
I would imagine a lot of schools can do it. It's just that I'm in the weird Catholic education bubble world.
That's not a strange world, Travis. Don't put it down. I like small schools.
I'm the strange one.
Right. No, that is completely true.
Yeah.
Carl, are you back with us? You know what? I got to eject Carl from the Hangout, but there were two Carls, so I'm hoping I ejected the right one. Carl, would you mind repeating your question from before? Because I think you had a good point, but we couldn't tell because we couldn't hear you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm the second person who's in this Hangout on their phone. No, I said that I think that Hadley and Travis really hit on, to me, the two key ingredients to an ed camp. You need a space to hold it in, and you need coffee, and really, you don't really need anything else. Post-it notes are cheap. The Twitter account is free. Eventbrite is free. I mean, it really isn't. It doesn't need to be a complicated thing at all.
Mm-hmm.
I know that some people, I really liked the idea of tweeting out if you were looking for a location, because it does help to have it in somebody's school. People sometimes run into trouble if they have it in a college or some other location where they might have to get insurance for the event. And so if it's held in a local school, that just makes it that much easier. Mm-hmm. But I think that you can use Twitter to find those locations.
And one time, we all met without Todd present, and we were worried. We said, are we going to have to worry about this, the cleaning up aspect? Are we going to worry about how many rooms and how much, Wi-Fi? We were just worried about all these things. And then I wrote down all these concerns. I emailed them to Todd, and he said, we got it all taken care of.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love that. So that's good. Now, Hadley, let's say that there is someone. Let's say I'm trying to organize an ed camp. My tweet kind of goes out there and it's unanswered. Can I come back to you, and can you try and help me find a venue, or are you that guys that deep yet with your network and ability to help, or
I'm not that deep right now, but I could imagine being able to, sort of send it out through my networks. I mean, wouldn't have a problem tweeting it out myself and tweeting it out through the foundation to try to come up with ones. But the interesting challenge right now for the foundation is that all of these ed camps, the 255 that were held last year alone, are all independently organized. And so we don't have master lists of organizers, and we don't have master lists of to sort of go to. That's it. I'm hoping to be able to develop those over time so that I would have actually more of a network, but I think that that's going to come. And you know, I think that organizers who need help, you know, the foundation would be more than willing to sort of talk them through strategies.
That's good. Now, do you know that Carl, remember what I said about his photographic memory? He has all of those people memorized. He has every ed camp organizer right up here. So just all we need is like a flash drive or something, and he'll get it for us.
Okay, Carl, that's great. Good to know.
Carl's still using flash drives. I don't know why he doesn't use Google Drive, but that's different. That's a different story. So
that's my 2016 goal.
Hadley, I was going to ask you real quick, and I know that I've looked on the EdCamp wiki before. What were the numbers? Like, was it 2012 when it really kind of started? Do you have the numbers on the EdCamps and how it's grown? In case there's still a lot of people out there that have never heard of EdCamps, and we try and help and change that here on Techlandia. So, can you give us a sense of like how much it's grown and how much you expect to have this year?
The interesting part is, let's see, this year I haven't done a recent count, but we started in 2010 and there were 8 ed camps in 2010. In 2011 it was up to 51, so growing pretty darn rapidly. 2013 we were at 191. Last year it was 251. So it's growing. Right now it looks like we're getting close to 700 ed camps that have been held in the last 5 years. We're in 22 countries around the world, and so there's this amazing growth. And what's fascinating to me is the number of new ones, but also the number of ed camps that are going into their 3rd, 4th, and 5th years. Ed Camp Philly, which was the original one, is about to have their 6th ed camp. And that's just pretty amazing. I mean, that's amazing viral growth, which just shows how much, you know, teachers want to connect with each other. They want to talk about, you know, and share their expertise, and that EdCamp gives them a chance to do that rather than sort of going to professional development where they get talked at. They can go and ask their questions. I mean, I think that some of the best sessions come when people go and just ask a question, and people get together to try and help each other answer the question.
Yeah, one of my favorite sessions is, I just call it "What is good teaching?" and literally that's the question that you ask to start. What is good teaching? And then you talk for an hour, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
Gosh, I would have nothing to contribute to that conversation.
You could tell us about bad teaching, John. Just kidding, buddy.
I would just tell you what I do and then do the opposite of what I do. No, that's good. You know, one of the things I thought Carl was going to say this, and one of his ones that he taught me when I was out in San Francisco was things that rock and things that suck.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's a different one. And I just went through some training the other day, and it's called Avid Training. And the funny thing was, a lot of the stuff that they're like, here, do this to mix up your professional development, because they were showing the teachers on special assignment how to do it. And the funny thing was, it was all EdCamp stuff. So any of the EdCamp stuff, I was like, I've already run that session at EdCamp, or just like started it. And then that's the best thing about things that rock and things that suck. You just start it, and then you let everybody just talk. And I remember I had 3 people come up to me and say, that's the best session that we did all day, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I didn't do anything except get you started, and then just sit there and watch and listen, because it's so interesting. And I learned that one from Carl at Integrate Ed San Francisco. So thanks for that, Carl. Carl is good for a lot of things sometimes, and then not very good at other things. So
rim shot.
I need to give a shout out. That one actually started with Dan Callahan back at Camp Philly and has migrated all across the country. But I think that those conversations where you get teachers sharing, that's the power of EdCamp, is that we get to put forth what we know and learn from others.
Yeah,
and one area where I definitely need to give a shout out. I feel like the show I'm just bowing down at the altar of Carl Lindgren Stryker. Carl graciously let me into the Voxer group for EdCamp organizers, and that has been insanely helpful. I mean, you know, I had a question either last night or this morning about raffle prizes, and I think probably 25 or I've gotten 25 or 30 responses just from something, whereas if you're on Twitter and you ask a question like that, we're all used to Twitter. You put out a question and then it goes somewhere, but we never come back. But as is the Voxer group has been very, very, very helpful.
That's good. Well, that's because Carl's a premium Voxer member.
I'm not. And I also, like Travis, I appreciate the kind words, but I do need to acknowledge, though, that I learned all that stuff from somebody, and I don't know anything about EdCamp that I have stolen from Bill or from. Bill and Vicky in my mind were two incredibly helpful people. And as I've gotten to know Kristen, she's awesome as well.
Right.
So.
Yeah, she's awesome. Hadley? Who are the I always think, and I've never met Bill, but I've face to face. But Kristen, I've met a few times face to face. Who are the other people that kind of got the ball rolling changed it from bar camp to ed camp?
The original group was Kristen, Dan Callahan, Kim Civic. I'm going to forget people. Mike Ritzius, Chrissy Miles. Who am I forgetting? Mary Beth Hertz.
Okay.
And me.
I love the peanut gallery in the background.
That's right.
And you. There we go.
And it was really one of those ones where the first Ed Camp Philly, we had no idea if anybody would show up, and that session, that blank session board, the first go round, we were all standing there sort of going, is anybody going to do anything? And then they did. Not only did they come on a beautiful spring day, but they put together sessions, and that was the energy that was there. And we had people who we were connected with on Twitter who came down from New York and loved it, and were like, we're doing one in New York. And because of Twitter, people were hearing about it, and all of a sudden they were popping up in California and in Texas and all over the place. So it was one of those ones where you sort of, if you build it.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I really applaud you guys, because I think that we were running I'm new to my school district that I'm in Beaverton, Oregon, and one of the things that they did on one of their PD days, and they don't know about ed camps, which I think is funny, so I'm trying to help them a little bit, but what they did was they basically organized their PD kind of ed camps, like ed camp style. It was just their PD, but they invited 5 schools, and they just said, we sat in I remember sitting in the room with them, and I'm not going to say anything, but they're discovering ed camp on their own, and they decided which sessions, and they kind of had to have a little bit of, teachers get nervous presenting and things like that. But I was trying to, when they would say what they're doing, I'm like, right, and then I'm like, have time for discussion. Make sure you're discussing and facilitating everybody in the room. And I would shut up for a little bit, and boy, I went there and they really did that. And when we did the Google survey afterwards, a lot of the biggest thing was we really enjoyed having choices and being able to talk more. And then the funny thing was, and then I think one of the other ones was, do you want to present next time? That was the lowest ranked one by far. Nobody wants to Nobody wants to present, and I think that's good, because really at an ed camp you're not presenting. You're supposed to be having a cool discussion, right? And I think that's a good thing. Hadley, before you go, I wanted to get kind of I know this was a hot topic on the Voxer, the definitive word kind of this year for sponsorship for ed camps then. So if you have ed camp in a box and we can contact you and we're organizing our ed camp, there's really, and in Portland, we don't give out any swagger prizes. It's like you get some refreshments and you come, and we have it once every 3 months, and that's pretty much it. And it's just all about that. Is that the kind of message, don't focus on trying to get 1 million people there and give away all this swag and all these things? Just kind of come and try and network and be with your colleagues a little bit and learn, right?
And it's most definitely that. The goal is, if you're a new ed camp, that we want you to connect through our foundation partnership program that Carl's part of, just so you get talked through the process. And then if you're an established ed camp, all you need to do is fill in the form, and I will send you out your boxes, because it really is my goal is to make it as easy as possible, and to not, if you end up with fabulous swag from sponsors, great, but you don't need that to have fabulous conversations.
You really don't.
One thing, if anyone else is looking at doing it the first time and they're worried, well, I don't know this company or that company and I don't have good contacts. One place that I found for good, and I know the focus of the Ed Camp is not swag, but if you're looking for good prizes and things, what I found is if any of the educational Twitter people are writing a book, or if they've just published a book, if you ask for a copy to give it the swag, they're always willing to donate. So that's one little thing that I found that I would, my 2 cents.
I think that's a good idea, because really at that point that's educational book. I always liked when the prizes were educational books, or maybe just like the local conference says, here's a couple free registrations for a conference, because sometimes it can be a lot for teachers to go to conferences and they have to write sub-plans and things like that. But if they get it paid for and they win that, I think that's the way to go. And for those people, for those educators that are writing books, what are you writing books about? Are you crazy? Don't you have families? What are you guys doing? No, I'm just kidding. I just grabbed a book the other day. I know. Just write an ebook or something. Come on, people. There's people. You've got to live your lives. Live your lives. Okay.
There's the Grandpa Sammy rant of the night.
That's right. Yeah, that's my Grandpa Sammy rant of the night. I just want to say that I really appreciate having you guys on here, and I really think that if the one thing we want you to come away with is look at Carl Lindgren Stryker. Look at that. That guy is like an EdCamp master. I mean, look at him. I mean, he's not that impressive. I mean, look at him. And he knows so much. All you would have to do is reach out to him on Twitter, and Carl, would they even have to, you would just say, hey, Carl, how do I do an EdCamp? That's all they could tweet at you.
Or Christina Peters, or Chris McGee, or Kristen, I think that's the thing is people are like, I'm so worried. I don't want to impose on people. It's like, no. I want you to organize an EdCamp. I'm really excited. I'm going to an EdCamp the next 2 weekends, and I don't have to do anything except show up. I'm doing no organizing, no creating the slide deck. I don't have to worry about setting up rooms the night before, anything like that. I just get to show up and mooch off of the hard work of other people, and that's awesome. I want you to do that, so I can just go.
That's right. And I think that there are so many people. I think I looked at Josh Allen for EdCamp Omaha, and I looked at Matt Gomez for EdCamp Dallas as the first people that really got me going a little bit. And I think I've probably attended, I don't know, I'm probably close to 20 now, seriously, of EdCamps that I've attended. So Hadley, the next time you guys do your the foundation and your round of people, I always tell this to Kristen Swanson, but she never listens to me. Let me know, and I'd be happy to help out. Okay, Kristen's like, oh, we put out this on the. I'm like, Kristen, I've got 4 kids. I can't be looking at everything all the time, okay? So anyway, the next time if you guys need some other helpers, you just let me know. I'll be happy to help out. I love that.
Well, I think the whole EdCamp movement is filled with passionate people who are doing amazing stuff, really amazing stuff.
It is good. Travis, all right, when is the EdCamp San Jose? Can you give us the date for us, please, and the venue?
April 25th at Union Middle School. If you want to register, go to edcampsanjose.eventbrite.com, and we'd love to have you.
Did you get your box?
Liz, I think it's getting mailed to Liz, so she will get it. So.
Okay.
Okay, You better get the box, or else you're going to have no coffee, and then the teachers will be like...
We're string that together.
There we go. Like that one. All right. Well, I really appreciate you guys all taking the time. And Travis, curse you for making me have to edit this thing. Carl, curse you for making me have to edit this thing. Hadley, you are a dream, and I don't have to edit because of the thing. Anyway, thanks for being on here. And Carl, our plans were to follow up with Travis after the EdCamp so he could, because he'll be a nervous wreck that day. It's just a natural thing. He wants everything to be going right. But we should follow up with Travis afterwards, shouldn't we?
I will Periscope Travis walking around so that it's on the internet for at least a day, and then we can all watch. I'll make sure to tag you in that.
That'll be interesting.
Oh my gosh,
that'll be awesome. Comments that come with Periscope.
That's a whole nother show, my friend. That's a whole nother show. All right. Well, thank you for being on here. We appreciate you, and we will catch you on the flip side.
Have a